Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 5. In this video, I'll be recapping what led Suguru Geto to crack and start his campaign to wipe out all humans and non-sorcerers. This one's got loads of spoilers, but if you ain't bothered, then sit back and get ready to have a blast. Alright, so it's been a year since this messed up mission thing happened. Suguru and Shoko are checking out what Satoru has done with the limitless technique he's got. Basically, he's made the technique work by itself, so he is trying to learn the reverse curse technique and his domain expansion. After the whole Star Platinum vessel incident, Satoru has become the only strongest sorcerer, while Suguru looks like he's been through the ringer. Satoru even asks if Suguru's lost weight, but Suguru's like, nah, all's cool. Now, Satoru's rocking it on solo missions and Shoko never really did risky stuff anyway. That means Suguru's left doing missions by himself during a crazy summer full of a cursed spirit epidemic. It's like he's stuck in this never-ending loop of fighting off these bad vibes and munching on these cursed spirits. Imagine trying to eat a gross rag. Yeah, it's that bad. He tries to wash off his frustrations in the shower, but his mind's stuck on these thoughts that won't leave. For a whole year, Suguru's been trying hard to be a good guy, you know, saving people as a Jujutsu Sorcerer. But he's haunted by these star religious groups clapping at the death of Riko. Suguru kinda starts to crack as he quietly calls them monkeys. Later, Suguru's just chilling in this lounge and along comes Yuhibara, who decides to sit down next to him. Yu is all hyped, blabbering about this upcoming mission he's got. And Suguru, being the curious type, asks Yu about this whole sorcerer gig, if he's cool with it. Yu gives a classic response that he doesn't overthink, so he just gives his best at whatever he's good at. Then, out of nowhere comes this woman barging in. She's all like, hey, what kind of ladies you dudes into? And Yu, with all the confidence in the world, goes, I'm all about a girl who can eat. Suguru's pretty surprised by that answer, but remains suspicious of this woman. Turns out she's Yuki Tsukumo, some big-shot sorcerer who's basically known for slacking off on her missions. She acts all sassy and says she hates the Jujutsu High, but deep down, she's actually upset. She thinks the people at the top are just fixing the symptoms with bad spirits, not really getting rid of the whole problem, but she dreams of a world without cursed spirits. Yuki got two ideas: 1, everyone ditches cursed energy, or 2, everyone gets super good at controlling it. For the first one, she believed the now-dead Toji figured it out, but he's gone now, so Yuki's looking into the second idea. She tells Suguru that sorcerers don't produce cursed energy, like non-sorcerers, because they can handle cursed energy. So, Suguru is like, let's just wipe out the non-sorcerers then, but Yuki explains that it's not as easy as she thinks and also, she's not that crazy. Yuki asks if Suguru hates non-sorcerers, but he's kinda unsure. Part of him thinks they're not so great, but another part wants to be a good sorcerer who protects non-sorcerers. Yuki tells him to choose what he believes and she leaves, a bit bummed she didn't meet Satoru. Later, Nanami returns from a mission that totally went south, like seriously messed up. They thought they were gonna exorcise this grade 2 cursed spirit, but turns out it was some local god thing that took out Yu. So Nanami is flipping out, throwing stuff around in the morgue, all pissed off about being given bad info. Then there's Suguru, trying to calm Nanami down and telling him to take a breather. But even Suguru's kinda messed up from the whole thing. He's like, being a Jujutsu sorcerer is like running a messed up marathon, with his buddies' dead bodies waiting at the finish line. And then, Suguru is on his own mission later. He gets rid of this curse bugging a village, but the villagers blame these 2 young sorcerer girls instead. Those poor girls are all beaten up and locked in a cage. Suguru tried to reassure them that he's fixed the cursed spirit problem, but the villagers ain't buying it. They're dead set that the girls did everything. Here's the kicker. Suguru notices the girls are like him, fellow sorcerers, and they can't even stick up for themselves. So he's like, screw it, I'm done with non-sorcerer people. And that's that. He goes on this crazy rampage and kills over 100 villagers. Later, Jujutsu High gets involved and checks it out. Well, they kick Suguru out of school and declared him wanted. Then Headmaster, Mazumichi Yaga, gets wind of this and tries to spill the beans to Satoru. Turns out, Suguru not only off the villagers, but also his own parents who weren't even sorcerers. But Satoru's not having it. He's like, nah, this can't be real. He's all kinds of angry and confused. Then, in another part of town, Suguru meets up with Shoko, who starts chatting like old pals. Shoko wanted to know if the rumors are true, and Suguru confirms it. He wants to build a world with only sorcerers, but Shoko is not impressed, so she calls Satoru, and he hauls his butt over. Now, Satoru is in Suguru's face, demanding an explanation, but Suguru decides not to explain himself anymore. Satoru thinks the plan is crazy and impossible, but Suguru thinks it's possible with Satoru's abilities. As Suguru walks away, Gojo tries to kill with his purple techniques, but realizes he couldn't eliminate his best friend. So, Satoru goes back to school feeling bad about losing his friend. Mazumichi shows up, and they have this chat about what went down. Satoru figures out that he can only save people who are ready to be saved, you know? Back at the Time Vessel headquarters, Suguru takes over the association by killing off Shigeru Sonoda and totally committed to that hatred of the non-sorcerer monkeys. Later, Satoru runs into a young Megumi Fushiguro. This pisses off Satoru because the boy has the same ridiculous look as Toji. Anyway, Satoru starts telling Megumi about his dad and their deal with the Zenin clan. He's almost about to spill the beans that he eliminated Toji, but Megumi cuts him off. He doesn't care about his parents because they abandoned him and his stepsister. Satoru is surprised that the boy is sharp at his age. He asks the boy if he'll like to join the Zenin clan, but the boy declines if his sister won't be safe there. Satoru pats his head and says everything will be cool, just be strong like him. Fast forward 10 years, and Satoru wakes up to his students making a racket. Guess what? One of them is a grown-up Megumi. Yuji and Nobara are messing around while Satoru grinning and being proud and happy. And the episode ends here. If you enjoyed this video, remember to smash that like button and hit that subscribe bell so you can experience the epicness of the next episode. So stick around because we got more Jujutsu Kaisen videos coming your way.